The point that I have to get myself 2 dogs. I will just sleep on my bed and open my laps. Then I will call the dog. Just start licking it.
If you see a 10 seconds clip or 30-second clip, perhaps you should go and watch the full video to understand the root of the story. Biola, the interviewer, asked a very important question. She said, what made you, what inspired the dog? How did you come about the thought of using a dog? When life throw lemon at you, make sure to catch it and make a delicious lemonade out of it. To be honest, making a lemonade out of lemon is not always as easy as it sounds, because this particular story breaks my heart. Like, the way it ended is really heartbroken. And perhaps before you sit back on your keypad to write a comment in a post that you see online, please just make your research first. The story breaks my heart. Please take a listen and we will continue.
Even when I was in school, in my room like this, I will have to lock my room and start using finger on myself. Up to now, I'm still feeling it to a point that I have to get myself 2 dogs. I will just sleep on my bed and open my laps. Then I will call the dog. Just start licking it. But the problem is, after doing this, I'll start crying. I'll start asking myself, why am I even doing this? Show Yahweh. I'll start cursing myself. Why are you doing this? Yes, I don't even want to have sex with any man. But fortunately, when I got to Auntie Mary's place, when I don't have anything, then she started giving me attitude. Now she's now introduced me to prostitute. When I got to 5 years, this brother would just call me. Notice that he just covered my mouth with one of his hand and uses the other hand. Started using the finger into my private part.
At 5?
Yes, at 5. 3 fingers. Before I know, started using his manhood. Even sometimes I will have to cry that I want to go and ease myself. Then you tell me, go and ease yourself and come back. You don't want me to kill you. If you ease yourself and if you don't come back, or if you tell anyone, I'm going to kill you. Any parent outside there should know that being a parent is far from paying your school fees.
There's so much to this. There's just so much to this. But, I mean, of course, what everybody was just afterwards. Oh, she was having sex with a dog. Like, she was opening her legs for a dog to lick her. Yeah, it's even difficult to say. Like, it's difficult to say. But let's go back to the root of this. First of all, these are some of the facts that a few persons have refused to look at. I applaud Biola, by the way. She did an excellent job. But I'm coming to that. First of all, this lady, her name is Nike. Say her name. Because as I'm speaking to you, she lives no more. After this interview, it was announced that Nike committed suicide, allegedly, because of perhaps she wasn't sure the outcome of the interview. But let's look at these facts. Nikki had an unstable family. She came from a polygamous home. Her father was not capable of taking care of her, neither was her mom, because her mom was doing what she felt was the best, which is running hectare skater to raise money or sustain her home or stay married. There's so many factors to this. But first of all, I'm going to focus this on Nikki. Nikki was living with her grandmother. At 5, this so-called uncle has already started abusing this girl with his finger at first, then later with his manhood, and later she started using her mouth on him. So these things started when she was 5 years old. 5 years old. I have a child of 7 years old, a girl child of 7 years. I can't comprehend. I can't imagine. I cannot. Nikki's auntie caught her one day with this so-called uncle, Jerry. And she also opens her leg for Nike to start licking her. Because, oh, if you do not do that, I will tell the grandma. So Nike was now servicing her uncle and the auntie, both of them. Sometimes the lady will be the one to stand at the door for her to finish with the brother, with the uncle. Like she said, sometimes she will be with the brother in the morning and then the auntie in the evening. Can you imagine that at 5? Okay, this foundation was already laid. That she mentioned at some point she would be the one to go to the uncle because now her body is used to it. Right? So she also mentioned that at the age of 9, when she was already 9, she now started abusing her nephew, who was 6 years old. Can you see the transfer of trauma? Can you see what is happening here? Do you understand the state of what is going on? And this nephew is somewhere. Nike might be no more, but this life, this trauma that someone, Jerry, God punish you, someone planted in her, is still lingering, is still going on. So this trauma still goes on. Wait. Regardless of all these things that was happening, Nike actually got a scholarship when she was in boarding school. She got a scholarship from her SS1 to SS3, from what I understood on the interview. So somehow inside her, she wanted better for herself. This makes my heart bleed so much. I'm going to point out something before I go to the scholarship. Her grandmother, she said one day she was with the uncle in the bedroom and she said to the uncle that she wanted to pee. And then she came out of the room and the grandmother was sitting out there and saw her walking with her leg open. Grandmother. And the grandmother just said, "Where are you going to?" "Oh, I thought I was looking for you." And she said she was in the room of the uncle. And the grandmother didn't say anything. Do you think the grandmother didn't know? I don't think so. I think she knew, but she kept quiet. Before the scholarship, she was not only with this boy of 6 years old, but when she was already in secondary school, she would go to her cousin, who is Rebecca apparently, and she will make her too. I am comfortable talking about sex, but this particular story just makes me want to throw up. Because I can't even say the word, I can't even say it because I can see it from 5 years old, and she continued with this line of everything they put her through. She went ahead and continued sleeping with Rebecca. So she got her scholarship, she was studying everything, and then she grew, into a woman. A lot of things moved to Lagos. Life was moving. Getting to the point that she started using a dog to satisfy herself. Biola, the interviewer, asked her a very important question. She said, "What made you? What inspired the dog? How did you come about the thought of using a dog?" And she said that she couldn't hold it, but then whenever she couldn't see herself doing it with men, but she missed the feeling. She's horny, but she resents men because of what the uncle and the auntie did to her. She saw it coming from a place of pain, so she sees so much resentment being with a man. So she resorted to buying 2 dogs, not 1, 2, to satisfy herself. How broken can one be? How broken can one be? They broke her, but do you know what? It just hurts that she's no more. And it just really hurt that she didn't get to see what could be the outcome of her story being told. Biola also asked her, what is it that you want? What is it that you desire? And she says she wants to finish her education. And she mentioned when she went for catering, couldn't finish anyways. A lot of things because her life was just throwing her back and forth. You have to listen to the whole interview to actually be able to grasp into the story because it's just like, whoa, what a life. You think you have it difficult? This story really threw me off balance. Regardless of everything, she was working. She wanted to be an actor as well, and she made approaches. Again, every time she wants to take a step, somebody is harassing her sexually. A so-called director, a big director. She approached this big director who sexually harassed her, allegedly. I have to say that. But again, it happened. This story is story of Nike. The comment section of the previous post of Talk to Be by Biola was just really very sad. I saw some people making some negative comments when Biola announced that she no longer lives. A lot of people were like, oh, after you have milked her of her story, after you have used her story for your platform. I'm sorry. You have no idea. Nikki may not live no more. But you see, Biola, that whatever she is going through right now, you have no idea. I've been in that situation where I interviewed someone and weeks after the interview, she died. It was so devastating that I am not related to this person. I gave the person a platform to talk, but it's just that feeling of maybe she shouldn't have talked about it. But at the end of the day, it was the right thing because it's her story, it's her voice, and it matters. Nika chose to go to Biola to talk about her life story, her life torturing experience. She wanted to let the world hear her voice. And she's no more. Biola, I want to applaud you for your work. I want to tell you that you did an incredible job for really making Nika comfortable in order to open up and tell her story. I watched this over an hour show and you sat and gave her a listening ear, which perhaps no one ever wanted to give her. You gave her that, and for that was a gift that she went to grave with. I'm not sure what the interval from when she did the interview and when it was released and when she died. Someone wrote a comment that is kind of, perhaps, but you never know. He said, how come a young girl who has been through so much and have been fighting through her life to find a better life, to find perhaps something good for herself, how come just after she told her story, she died? How come? That is a question we might ask. That's something we might ponder upon. How come that she just died after she said, I want the world to hear my story? There was another comment that Nika made. She said, being a parent is not just about paying school fees. Very strong point. The comment section was just pointing at mothers, take care of your kids, make them comfortable, as well as fathers. As well as fathers. Before you take on the responsibility of being a parent, whether as a woman or as a man, be emotionally available, not just financially. It is hard because we want the best for our kids and we're running the hectare-scatter trying to provide and forget the most important factor, being present. This is a message to all, to me as a parent, to you as a parent, as a father, as a mother. Be there for your children. Ask questions. What's happening? Observe. Any abnormal thing, talk. Do not protect any motherfucker. Sorry, my language. But do not protect anybody in the detriment of your own child. I don't care who the person is. They mess up, you call their bullshit. This really, really breaks my heart. Say her name, Nika. Your story matters. Your story is valid. Whether we have to put allegedly or not, your story is valid. For people who are pointing fingers at Biola, saying that after she has used that, she should have provided evidence. She should have provided her with therapy, blah, 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 blah. Did you listen to the whole interview? Did you watch to the end of that interview? She gave her everything. I do not want to believe that immediately they say cut, that she just walked out of the set there without holding Nika and say, I hear you. I am here. I don't think, I do not know Biola from anywhere, but I don't think after sitting there hearing that story for complete 1 hour something minutes, that she would just storm out of the set without holding her hand and give her the assurance that she needs. They have to now go to the extent of showing you people that she was actually doing something. She was actually reaching out to the therapists, to people who will counsel her. And I really want to believe, because from what I observe, this lady Biola is providing a platform for people to share their story. And it seems it's coming from a place of love. So she's not going to I don't think she would have just let her go off the street like that. I do not believe that, because I know how it feels to be on that seat when someone opens up to you. If you have empathy, if you are doing the job from a place of love and a place of impact, you will be in 100%. Biola, I hope you find strength to go back doing what you do best. Is not you. You did the best you could. You gave her platform. It's just unfortunate that the circumstances is as it is. But her story, I promise you, in my own opinion, is a lesson to so many people out there, to so many parents out there. We all have taken and still taking a note from this story of Nika. Say her name. Nika. Your story is valid. Next time, before you go on comment section, please make your own research. Understand what the story is. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If there's any message, post, videos that is being sent to you or you have seen online and you would like me to talk about it here on the show, please send it across on the contact on your screen. Until next time, my name is Clara Chizoba Kronberg. This is The Commentary in CCK TV.